Welcome back to the All Pro film series. I haven't done this in a little bit of while, but we're going to get back into it. Figure since it's the off season, be a good time to do this. So we're going to be starting, of course, with Lamar Jackson, and we're going to go through. I'm gonna try to do both the first team and second team. That's a lot of players actually, but we'll see if we can get it done. So anyway, this won't necessarily be highlights or anything like that. Like obviously it's a film session, so we're gonna get down to the real nitty gritty, but it's not necessarily going to be highlights. So I'm filtering out a certain section of plays for each position, and we're going to go and look through them. I mean, for the most part, some of them it might be too many, but for quarterbacks, I decided to do touchdowns under pressure. So, and I believe in the last time I did this, I talked a little bit about like each position and everything, and it's similar to what I talk about when I do draft talk, because obviously that's how you evaluate the position. But you know, this is at the high level. So quarterback is the position that has probably the most number of different skill sets and techniques that you need to consider when evaluating a quarterback, compared to the other positions. And you know, for the most part, we all know kind of what they are. I'm not going to go through every single one, but I think I picked pressure, obviously touchdown, because you made the ultimate play, but I also picked pressure because that's when we really see what a quarterback can do. There's so much that goes on, and that's why quarterbacks get discussed and debated all the time, because there's definitely the physical part of it, the arm strength, or if you want to say the velocity in which they can throw, how far they can throw. But then there's the accuracy piece, there's the reading the defense, there's all those different things. And I think one of the parts that people know is important but don't really realize how important is the ability to maneuver in the pocket when things break down. We know that quarterbacks today are very much they're very much valued on their ability to extend a play, and we got all types of terms now. We got second play, we got play creators, we got structure versus non-structure, however you want to call it. People value that, and there's none out there that do it at, well, I mean, you could maybe I think you could argue Mahomes, just because of the way he did it, which was very based off Aaron Rodgers. But physically, there's no one doing it like Lamar Jackson. And so we're going to go through, watch this film, and see kind of, why they're all pro. And Lamar was first team all pro for those that don't remember. And so we're going to look at touchdowns under pressure, but since it's Lamar and the second team all pro is Josh Allen, we're going to look at some rushing, or we'll probably look at their actual rushing touchdowns. So for this particular position, it will probably feel more like a bit of a highlight reel. So anyway, we'll go through. They changed up the way their player is, so you're gonna have to forgive me. We're gonna be going back and forth just to get in and out. All right, so this is, I don't actually know the down and distance. That probably would have been good to know, but either way, we got 4 wide, we got 1 in the back. Looks like the Chief have 7 in the box, and kind of a 2 shell. Obviously, we got the safety creeping up, whatever it is. So ball snaps. So these are under pressure plays. Now, pressure, because all these advanced stats that everybody likes to quote. I don't love those stats, and this is kind of why. So this isn't necessarily, so pressure is if there's, I believe, I forgot the distance. I want to say it's if you have a defender within like 3 feet of the quarterback or something like that. is what they define as pressure. So obviously this isn't quick pressure. They only rush 4. Takes a while for the pocket to collapse. So Lamar rolls out, puts up the ball, and likely makes the catch and has a great run after the catch, able to get away from Bolden. So we'll just go back a little bit, because you got to look at all the pieces. I know people want to just look at like the one player, especially the quarterback, but you got to look at all the pieces, because this is an ultimate team sport. I know people hate hearing that, but that's just the truth. Alright, I probably went back a little too far. This is going super slow. But anyway, so let's look at the route and see, because again, this wasn't like pressure. This was a coverage pressure. Alright, so we have a drag coming across the middle, a little bit of a high-low. You got Andrews coming behind that, and another person too, and then we got one person going deep. So I don't know, we got like a double crosser coming one way and another going the other way, and then we got I believe that's Zay Flowers on a vertical, just trying to clear something out. Looks like they end up either matching or running man with the initial drag. So because of that, now again, I don't know the down and distance. I feel like Lamar could have probably threw that initial drag, but maybe it wasn't enough, because that is to likely. So I feel like could have maybe made that throw, but again, wanted to buy some time, extend the play. Then he put it up and likely made a good play on it. So this is where, if I remember, this is where I gotta back out. Alright, so we'll go into the next play. I don't know why that didn't want to load initially, but okay. Alright, let's do 75% and see if that works for us. Okay, so obviously we are in the red zone here. We got a loaded front, 7 men on the line. All right, so same thing. Lamar drifts to his right and is able to make the completion. I want to look at I guess we could go to the end zone, but either way. Obviously, we got some type of simulated pressure. And the Ravens do a good job. They pick it up, and again, for those that might not know, you want to pick up the interior first, like leave the widest man open if you can, because the quickest way to the quarterback is up the middle. So when it comes to a blitz, you want to get whoever's closest to the quarterback first. And so they end up picking up everybody on the interior, and the one blitzer that was open was on the edge. That gives you the most time to make another play. And that's a corner, that's a nickel, and he's flying. But Lamar, again, not only able to create the space with his legs, but able to make that throw on the run. All right, so now looking at the coverage again. So I actually did see this play. This is a busted coverage. As you can see, everybody else is going to be in man. Let's see. He's gunning right for this person. He's following Andrews across. He's trailing too. I mean, Zay Flowers was open, but and another point I'll just bring up. This is just football point. This is why you like to this is why coaches don't love quarterbacks that go to one side of the field, because you cut off half the field. And I mean, Josh Allen maybe has made some of these throws, but that's not a throw you usually want to make. If you're drifting to the right, Zay Flowers is open, but throwing back across your body, that's a tough throw. But anyway, so everybody's man except this corner who let receiver one, which would be his, go straight across the field. I don't know if he had his eyes in the backfield or what he was doing, but it was a coverage bust. But again, that's Lamar being able to extend that play. All right, we're back against the Bengals. I forgot to change the speed, but that's all right. All right, so we got a motion. Looks like we're gonna have 4 out in the route, plus the running back. 4-man rush. All right, so now this one, these are definitely the highlight play type. So we'll actually go to the end zone for this one. So what happens is Lamar drops the ball, and we being fair, we've seen him do that a number of times. So he drops the ball because the initial pressure is not much. Able to recover the fumble, pick it up. Now by the time, obviously the O-line doesn't know what's happening. So by the time he gets it up, the time is off. The D-line is starting to get pressure because the O-line has turned them loose. So now it's up to Lamar to make this play. Not only creating space or just to get away from the pressure, but we see the strength to stiff arm off Trey Hendrickson, one of the best. Gets free, and so now pushing towards the sideline, just being creative. Double clutches. Oh, they don't show the full throw. Oh, sorry, that was Sam Hubbard. I couldn't remember. I was like, it's Trey 94. That's Sam Hubbard. Not Trey Hendrickson. I won't disrespect him like that. I kind of like the sideline view better. And then this is also just a receiver giving his quarterback a target. It's a scramble drill. And that's just the trust he had. And honestly, so you could say, okay, yeah, you just threw it up and got a touchdown, but really you needed velocity on this throw. So again, when people talk about arm talent, quote unquote, we're just talking about arm strength. Throwing the ball for distance is not the same as throwing the ball with velocity. Velocity is incredibly important because the game is inches and seconds. Those windows matter. So again, yes, you are throwing against 3 defenders. So if you float this ball up, this is a very different play. But because he's able to generate power while off his feet, he's able to get that pass in there for the touchdown. So again, we already seen Lamar using his ability to improvise, I guess, and play create a little bit, and that kind of not only got them out of trouble but led them to touchdowns. All right, so this 3rd and 7. I should have been looking at what the down and distance was. Okay, so this 3rd and 7, that gives us context. So right now we have, I see 3 out in the route plus the running back. I feel like, oh, okay, we got a chip release. Okay. Anyway, didn't really matter. That goes to Derrick Henry. So let's look at what's happening up front. So they send a 5-man pressure. We get a chip release with Ricard, or however you say it, whatever you want to call him, tight end, fullback. So he's helping out with the pressure on the edge here. I think what happens is this stunt ends up getting them. Oh no, it's just the edge. So then we check it down. Now, Um, yeah, so this is in rhythm. So you can see this play happen sometimes where it's on the quarterback and it's his fault because he's just drifting back and not stepping up into the pocket, and that allows the arc to get wider so the rush could get to you easier. But in this one, you see he's going to step, hitch, and throw. So he's getting to his drop, he's getting to his depth, and he's throwing in rhythm. It just happened to be a longer developing play, and as you can see, they're kind of running those crossers again. They don't really get the collision they want, but nobody really accounts for Derrick Henry. Yeah, you see he's collision. He's heading towards Henry, but then he comes here. That's just a miscommunication between linebackers, but either way, wide open. And again, credit to Lamar having the arm strength to do that while being hit. All right, so next play, Browns. This is 1st and 10. Sorry. Getting used to these controls so I can be quicker. All right, so we got 2x2, 4 out in the route. Running back stays in. Looks like we got a pressure or a blitz. Pretty big blitz too. Let's look at the end zone. See what we got going on. All right, so we obviously got this 4, 5, then we got 6 coming off the edge. Running back picks it up. Protect the ball from the swipe, step up, reset. We got a late person coming to on the pressure. And again, you see him jump up and kind of get some velocity on that throw. And again, like arm velocity, as I said before we started, that's one of the key attributes that you gotta use to rate quarterbacks. And people wonder, and they continue to wonder, why do people take shots on certain players? You'll see through this whole All-Pro series, physical tools are very important. It's not the only thing, but it's very important. So it looks like they was running some type of rub route to the outside, and they probably would have been well, it was 1st and 10, so that probably would have been good. But Lamar's not looking that way. We got somebody manned up coming across the middle here. And again, there's no safety back with all those blitzes, so it's 1-on-1. And I mean, that's a good catch. I'm trying 15. Is that Aguilar? Should tell me. Yeah. Okay, so good catch by him, and then again, Lamar just giving him a chance. So, but you see in that end zone view, that could have been a sack fumble. You got to be able to step up in the pocket and make that throw, and that's pocket passing that Lamar has really started to unlock this last few years. Last year, he took a lot of criticism. He even gave himself a lot of criticism because he wasn't running around and he was forcing himself to stay in the pocket. And this year you saw all that kind of pay off, excuse me. So we're in the white zone. That's what I call tending in. And we're under center this time. Against the Browns again. We got a rollout. Let's see. So we got a naked. Really just a 3-man route. You're looking for these outlets last second across the back if possible. And again, we got a single safety, but no safety help over here. So it's 1-on-1, and we see with Likely, Andrew, with a lot of these guys, if it's 1-on-1, the Ravens are fine playing basketball. And again, Lamar just throwing on the run like we've seen before. Good catch by his teammate. All right, so 3rd and 2. apologize again. I keep trying to figure out these controls. All right, so 3rd and 2. They're way backed up in their territory, and we already know it's a touchdown, so it's a big play. All right, so let's look at the front. We kind of saw what happened with the catch. So we got 4 down. Trey gets a great jump. You can see how far he is ahead of the rest of the D-line. Beats the tackle with an inside move, but again, Lamar's on timing right now for this out route. I mean, good by Lamar, but honestly, I mean, you can't argue that's the receiver. Wallace, I believe, is that their returner? I'm not sure. What I'm curious about, we'll just look one more time, is the coverage. So it looked like it might be man free. So you got a single safety over the top, and that's just a bad angle and that's why they call them safeties, people. We got one safety back. That means if this happens where somebody makes a catch and we miss and he's running free, the safety is our last line of defense. And that was poor. I believe that was Geno Stone. Is that Geno, the former Raven? Either way, touchdown. Explosive. Limit the explosive plays. So not much Lamar had to do right there. All right, now we got 3rd and 6. Again, we're in the white zone. Very common pattern, as we can see so far. All right, now against the Chargers. Looks like 4 on the line. We got 4 out. Trip bunch to the right. Running back stays in for protection. We got 5 rushing. And I wouldn't say that was necessarily pressure. The running back does his job, but obviously the defender is close to Lamar, so that meets the definition of pressure for advanced stats. But overall, pretty good. I mean, this guy was about to if Lamar didn't throw this guy was coming, but for the most part, they gave him enough pass pro. So Mark Andrews starts to get behind his man. Lamar wants to take that strike. Now, I'll be honest, this is not a super safe pass. Now the defender's back turned, so you think maybe we could get a penalty or whatever. Not a safe pass. Puts it up, but Mark has to go up and behind this guy's back. Maybe want to float that a little more. But again, like I said earlier, the Ravens are comfortable playing basketball. They'll put it up on a one-on-one match. And again, obviously these are pressure plays, and a lot of times when people send a pressure as opposed to getting pressure, you're not going to have safety help over the top. Especially in the end zone, you get some type of man, and when there's no safety help, they'll just put it up. All right, and this last one is against the Eagles. That big game. Let's keep it 75. I did not see. This is 1st and 10. All right, so 1st and 10. Once again, we're in the white zone. We got a 3-by-1. Back stays in to help. 4-man rush. All right, let's take it from the rush. Now we know this is the eventual Super Bowl champs. We know how they D-line are, and for the most part, you're doing all right. You got a nice pocket, but the interior is changing the depth, so they're a little closer. But Lamar's just able to step up. Again, not drifting back. Now, if you drift back, you would have walked yourself right into a sack. But since he steps up, not only does he give himself momentum to make that throw, but then he steps up past the rush so that he's not getting hit. And I mean, all I can say is what I said before. They like playing basketball. That's Isaiah Likely once again. They put it up. I mean, it's first down, so you got, more downs, but it's a man situation, or it feels like a one-on-one situation. They'll put it up. And Likely came down with that. So you see some things that are high-level quarterback play in that you won't really see if you just watching the basics that Lamar had to do. But for the most part, we got coverage busts and we got people losing one-on-one matchups. So when you down there in the red zone, the white zone, making it easy for the quarterback with those matchups are very important. So let me see how I could do this. All right, now we'll jump over here to his rushing touchdowns, and it'll be 40s. Hope it. Oh, okay. Cool. All right, let's slow these down. All right, my bad. So we got a design quarterback run here. Again, we're in the white zone. The 10 and in. It looks like a wide lead. I mean, Lamar didn't have to do much there. that was pretty much all the blocking. Now, wide lead means we're gonna read this guy. If he crashes, quarterback runs the Y, usually a tight end or some lead blocks. If he sits on it, then gives it to Derek. Derek runs as hard as he can through the gap. Micah crashes down, and Lamar is gone. They got good angles. Touchdown. Not a whole lot to say about that one. All right, so our next one, we're in the white zone again. This is the Buffalo Bills. Another design quarterback run. I didn't change the speed, so it moves so fast, but we'll look at the end zone. Another option play, it looks like. All right, so he steps down. That's Von Miller. Pretty much another wide lead. Again, not much that he had to do on that one. But the speed kills, sleight of hand. That's good option work. We're in the white zone again. Is this number 3 or 4? I think it's 3. All right, so we got the Chargers. Very similar formation, might be the same play. Now a little more traffic on this one. Let's see from the end zone. I don't know if this was the same play. No, they did a power this time. Or a counter, sorry. So they ran a counter. I don't see a read key. Let me see. I'm getting into the weeds of the football. I guess it doesn't matter. So they did counter one way, a wide lead the other way. And it might have been designed for Lamar to just take this. Let's see. Who is 65? I don't know their players like that. All right, so 65's washing him down. Yeah, 93 did a good job. He almost blew that play up, but Lamar just being patient, wait for the gap to open. The lead block is still where he's supposed to be. I mean, and that's Lamar Jackson. That is Lamar Jackson for you on that run. Oh, we got one more. Okay, last one. Last one for first team All Pro Lamar Jackson. We got Houston. I'm not sure how I feel about those uniforms. How y'all feel about those? All right, same formation. Again, you see some patterns here. And we're only a little past the 50, so I think this is, let me see. Yeah, this is the Y lead, just a different lead blocker. Let's take it. The reason I don't like this in full speed, obviously you can see it easier when it's slower, but also their full speed is kind of sped up, and then when it's Lamar, it's super fast. So anyway, we got all these down blocks. You got your read key, Will Anderson. He's closing space. He's closing space. His shoulders turn slightly. Lamar's gone. And when it's Derrick Henry especially, that's tough. That's why, let me just say, this is why everybody was talking about this year. Not only what Lamar was able to open up for Derrick, but what Derrick was able to open up for Lamar. It's hard to pick who you want, especially the smartest thing they did is that you ran this play out of a pistol, out of a downhill set. Instead of a horizontal set where Derrick is running horizontal one way and Lamar is running horizontal the other way, you made Derrick come downhill and you make Lamar go out to the perimeter. So that's the scariest two things. You don't want to see Lamar out to the perimeter because you can't catch him, and you don't want to see Derrick coming downhill because that's when he has momentum. So you wondering, like, how come all these people just not going for Lamar? Because you got Derrick Henry. And then again, good second level blocks. All Lamar had to do was outrun them right there. So there we go. That is our first episode. First team All Pro quarterback Lamar Jackson. Go down the comment section. Let me know your thoughts or anything. Get the conversation started. Next up, we'll have Josh Allen. And yeah, thank you for listening.